Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's kind of a slow day today, so I figure let's go ahead and just make a video. And today we're actually going to answer one of you guys, one of these subscribers' questions. So today we are going to look at HCAM. Looks good now. Are you happy with the flow at your frag tank? And I figured, why don't we just go ahead and give you a full tour of the bottom sump. So before we get to the frag tank itself, let's go ahead and see where the flow itself comes from. So we have the down pipes here that lead into just kind of a chamber that flushes itself into the filter socks. I'm currently in the process of changing out these filter socks, that's why they're up here. But basically you have water going in and then flowing straight down. Now this first part of my kind of pseudo frag tank does have a little bit of flow, but it's not a lot, I would say. So for example, you can see here that the toadstools, though they are open, they're not exactly just waving around like crazy. They're pretty still. So the flow in here is pretty minimal, actually. That's also why I kind of have, you know, all these mushrooms as well as the bounce mushrooms in here, just because the flow is a little bit lower. Now, one thing you notice is I do have a cap here that I 3D printed that's in all four sides. So one here, one on the other side, and then two in the frag tank end. Now, here in the frag tank end, what's interesting is that the flow from the other sump is kind of funneled into this tube here. So you do actually get a pretty okay amount of flow. It's kind of hard to see, but for example, the detritus on the top, these little kind of algae bubbles or like oil bubbles, they do kind of move. So there is kind of an okay amount of flow, but it's not exactly a lot, which is the reason why I have all of my SPS here right next to the actual inlet itself. And from the side here, you can see that the algae is moving, so there is flow. It's just not what I would call, for example, turbulent. But in here, I mean, it does fairly okay. So I just have, I don't have anything particularly expensive or interesting. A lot of it is just zoas and sticks. And just having all the sticks there just guarantees that they get, you know, at least the minimal amount of flow that they need. For the most part right now, it works out just fine. I may put like a power head there at some point. But for now, it does, you know, does just good enough. So I'm not too worried. I haven't had any losses or anything. Now all the water is going to exit through the hole over there, which leads back into the back of the sump, which is where the main skimmer is, and then it goes ahead and drains back into this return chamber that pumps it back up into the tank. So for the most part, I would say I'm not exactly happy with the flow that is in the frag tank, but for the time being, it does okay. It does what it needs to. Even a little bit of flow is better than no flow at all. And at least for the time being, as I'm trying to figure out, you know, where to kind of place all these coral and just get the flow of how this tank is going to be, you know, it'll be just fine. And to be honest, I am kind of running out of power outlets. I do need one for the next kind of doser that I'm going to use, besides like the regular like Red Sea doser. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, whether it's kalkwasser or a calcium reactor, but I do need the outlets for them, so I'm a little hesitant to put a pump as of right now. But in the time being, you know, it does okay. Nothing is unhappy, for example, and we'll figure out how everything goes as, you know, this tank slowly evolves into what I hope it'll become someday. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the tour of my sump. If you guys have any questions you'd like to get answered, whether it's about my tank or just in general, feel free to put them in the comments. If there's something kind of fun, maybe I'll just kind of do a series where I just reply to people's comments. But other than that, thank you guys as always, and I will see you next time. Peace.